Hey guys, Tony Melo, Melo Properties team. Hope you're all doing well. My cell phone, 508-369-9755. 508-369-9755. Want to create a video. We've got an apartment over on one of our buildings, 22 Cedar Street, apartment number 5. It's the penthouse of that building, so the entire third floor is an apartment. We've got that apartment. It's vacant. It's ready to be rented. It's a 4-bedroom, 1-bathroom, third floor, de-leaded. We've got the lead certs for that property. We've been trying to rent it because it's at the price point that it is. It's taking a little bit more time, which is okay. We expect that. We're renting it for $2,100. It's a 4-bedroom, so it's in the range that it should be in, that other people have successfully rented their 4-bedroom apartments. It's in Taunton, 22 Cedar Street in Taunton. We're considering on doing what we've done in the past. We haven't done a lot of this, but I wanted to make a video to kind of explain, and I brought up the old, this is what I'm looking at right over here, the old verbiage of how we had explained what we did back in those days. Basically a rent to own. And you're going to go, oh my God, how can you rent to own an apartment? You can't. So you won't be owning the apartment. What's going to happen is you'll be renting with us. We will be working with you hand in hand while you're renting that apartment. And what I mean by working is looking at your credit, or at least introducing you to somebody that can look at your credit. And if there's issues with your credit, fix those credit that credit issues, those credit issues. And I can explain the whole thing with Credit Law Center. We sent them an email this morning for something else, somebody else. So we work with these folks quite frequently. Help you with the credit, help you with some of the money, putting money down for, excuse me, interruption here. To put the money down for the property. So the basic idea is it's a rent to own. You're not renting, you are renting the apartment. You're not owning the apartment. At some point in time, 6 months, a year, year and a half, 2 years, something like that, we as your agent will be signing all that paperwork right up front. And you'll see this right up. I'm going to modify it because this was back in 2017 that we did it for a different building. So there's different numbers. I'll include this document, PDF, whatever it's going to end up being with this video, so that between the video and the documents, you'll know what we're doing. And if you don't, just give us a call and we'll discuss it. So yeah, you're going to be renting the apartment, not owning the apartment. Renting the apartment. There'll be a portion of the rent that you pay for the apartment that will give back to you at closing. You can use that money to compensate for insurance for the house or whatever else, furniture, if you want to use that money for that. I don't know exactly yet how we're going to structure this. The last time that we did it, it was, X amount of money, then $100 per month for every payment that you made. We would give back to you at closing. So, for example, if you were there for 12 months, 12 payments, that's $1,200 that we gifted back to you at that point in time. So, but it depends. I mean, if it's 13 months, 14 months, 15 months, 2 years, 24 months, it's $100 per month, $100 per payment, per rent payment. So if we ask for X amount, it's not really X amount that you're paying rent. It's a little bit less because of that $100 that we're crediting at that point in time. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that we're going to introduce that program again, the rent to own specifically for rentals. And I should actually introduce this, even though I'm going to make this document specific to that particular apartment. We're probably going to introduce this to the rest of the residents that are living in our building, so that even in their case, if a year from now they want to buy, the same thing would apply to them. So any questions, let me know. I mean, I'm going to go through this a little bit here. Melo Properties team will reimburse the credit counseling repair costs and home ownership class fees at the closing, and gift $100 per month. So okay, at that point in time, whatever it costs you to do the credit counseling fix up, we'll reimburse that money. We won't pay you now. You have to come out of your own pocket to pay for that credit fix. But at the end, when we're closing, we'll pay that $100 per month for every payment, for every rent payment that you put out, and whatever it is that you spend on credit counseling, which honestly is not that big of a deal anyways. For most people, unless you have really, really bad credit, and we can go over those details, for most people, we're talking $200, $300, $400 that will credit you at the end for that credit repair. It's worth it. For every month that they are in the property, for every rent payment received, to be used for a down payment, prepaids, paid at closing. It's paid at closing. You can't really use it as a down payment, so I'm going to revise that on here just because you can't receive funds from your real estate agent to pay for a down payment kind of thing. There's rules and regulations that you have to be careful with. So it'll be a check from us to you at closing. You pay up front for the insurance and all that other stuff that you would normally be paying for. Also, you have to have the ability to save up that money. But then on the day that you close, you sign, you get your keys. I hand over a check to you on that day. And at that point, it's basically comes down to zero. Or it's a check that you end up getting that compensates a little bit, so at least for what you're paying. This will be a month-to-month agreement, and new pets over the 25-pound limit, full grown. Okay, so pets are allowed. 25-pound limit. We can't have gigantic dogs. There are other people in that building, and they go by the same rules. 2 pets max, 1/3 income rule. I won't go through those numbers because those numbers are going to be different. Combined monthly gross income. So if there's more than one income in your household, it's not just yours. It's yours and your husband's, yours and your boyfriend's, yours and whoever's going to end up working out this entire deal, owning the home at the end and renting. We can talk more about that. Credit score negotiable based on lender's judgment on 1 year max residency. We can keep the 1 year max residency, but again, if it goes over a little bit, even if it goes to 2 years, to be honest with you, it's not going to be a horrible big deal. But not to be lower than 600. And again, that depends on the lender. If the lender says I can work with 580, for example, that's not up to me. That's up to the lender. You know what I mean? We recommend that you work on your credit and get it up as high as possible, because the higher the credit score that you have, the better the interest rate that you're going to have, the better the deal with the lender. So proof of no unlawful detainers over the last 5 years. No unlawful detainers is evictions. You haven't been evicted. We obviously don't want to put somebody in the building that is going to be a nightmare, and we're going to have problems with the evictions and all that stuff. It's going to be somebody that we can work with and eventually get to that point where they're moving out of the rental and into a home that we've helped them buy. Either you can provide the credit score and tenant eviction history report, or we can, I'm going to change that too, send you a link so that you can pull your own. We use a website called applyconnect.com, cost about $29, 28 something for the credit report, credit score, eviction history. There's some criminal in there, that kind of stuff. So that's a cost that you would have to pay to be able to get into the apartments. We may or may not be able to use that credit score report with the lender, but it'll certainly give the lender a really good idea of where you stand. You may have to pull it again. We'll have to figure those details, since more than likely you're not going to be buying a house immediately. It's going to be 6 months, a year, 2 years from now. Pulling that score twice is not going to be that big of a deal. All gift and reimbursed monies are contingent on successful purchase of owner-occupied home. The reason it's owner-occupied is because the apartment has to be vacated, so you have to leave the apartment. Otherwise, even that, I can put some thought into it. If you don't leave the apartment and you end up buying a non-owner occupied home, a 2-family or something that you're going to use as an investment property, well, let's talk about it, figure it out. I guess that'd be okay. Exclusive buyer agency agreement with the Melo Properties team. That's us. Set for a minimum of 2 years. 2 years to make sure that we compensate the time that you're in the rental, getting yourself set up, time to find a property, and then eventually buy a property. So 2 years, 3 years, whatever it takes to make sure that we're covered, that you're hiring us as your real estate agent, the buyer agent, to buy the home at the end. And shoot for a ready to buy in Massachusetts date within 1 year of renting. So again, and honestly, 1 year, there's no reason why anybody can't fix their credit, especially with the help of Credit Law Center, 100%, so that it is in pristine condition and you're ready to go within a year. I've seen these folks fix people up in one cycle, 2-3 months. They went from bad to perfect, So 1 year, this should work, no problem. 1 year should be more than enough to get that done. I may have skipped some stuff in here. Like I said, I'm going to fix this up. I'm going to include it with the video. So if you got any questions, give me a call, 508-369-9755, 508-369-9755. The basic idea is you rent in our apartment, one of our apartments. We help you side by side, in getting yourself into a position where you can eventually buy a home at some point in time. That's the basic idea. We can help with getting you together with Credit Law Center to help you fix your credit, lenders. We got a team of them. That's not a problem. All whatever the details in between that needs to happen, we'll be working with you as your buyer agent at that point in time to make things happen. All right. So I'm going to release the video, fix this up, release that. That is an active apartment that we have, 4-bedroom, 3rd floor. There'll be more details on the apartment itself too, because obviously that's an important thing for you. It is de-leaded, so children, not a problem. It's 4 bedrooms. That'll work nicely. It's got a private little porch facing the street. We've raised the railings up. There's some seats there, so it can be a nice relaxing situation. Key thing that I want to point out with the rental is this. There's one heating system for the entire building. We are currently paying for all the heat in the building. We are going to provide the apartment with no utilities included. We're going to pay for the rent, pay for the heat for the rest of this season. It's going to be included, basically. We're going to write it up as no utilities. So this spring, when we install the new heating system, it's going to be 5 dedicated heating systems, 5 apartments. At that point in time, you'll take over the heating and AC. It's going to be central heat, central AC in that apartment, that building, for each one individually. So we're paying for it from now until the time that we get the heating system in, the heat. Once the heating system comes in, there's going to be one of those high efficiency direct vent type heating systems installed directly in the apartment itself. So we'll be building a closet somewhere in the apartment for the heating system, or using one of the built-in shelves kind of thing. We'll figure those details out this spring when we get there. All right, so this has gone 13 minutes. I don't go too much longer with this, but rent to own in apartments. Don't own the apartments. You'll eventually be buying a house somewhere else at some point in time. A portion of the rent plus the credit counseling repair costs, what it costs you to fix your credit. We will fix that stuff, pay for that stuff at the end, at the closing, compensate for it. And all the other stuff that I kind of just went over with you. Any questions, give me a call, and then we'll go from there. Thank you. Tony Melo, Melo Properties Team, 508-369-9755. See ya.